walked along with mom. That's me. Today I am using up some scrap wire and some old beads that I've had for a while that I thought would match really well, hopefully, with this cabochon. But I want to do like a really cool like heady wrap on this cab and to kind of just warm my hands up and kind of see what I got in me today, really. Let's check and make absolute certain that I do like the way that these match together, because you might be able to see it's not an exact match. These are a little bit more like mossy yellowy green, so I think I might incorporate some like pale blue beads, like pale blue glass as well. That might be really fun. But the wire that I'm going to be using is like a mixed metal tones. So antique copper, bright copper, vintage bronze, and titanium toned silver. Hey Barbie, how's it going? How are you doing today? And just kind of getting back into the groove of things after just a wild week. I mean, a wild week. Wild for me, wild enough for me, at the very least. Do 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 do. Boom. So now I can have this pulled up. I've got the chat over here. Hey Wanda, how are you doing today? And we're just gonna be chit-chatting and crafting. Hey Stephanie. Oh, we just had the feller come out. We called to get a quote for this branch that's stuck underneath the eave, like the back eave of our house. And so that was really good, but I couldn't get like on with my day until that was taken care of, and it's taken care of now. So fantastic. And when you're feeling better, please check email from me. Has it been a recent email? Because I'm looking at it right now. I thought I had gotten caught up. I don't think I have an email from you at this time, Barbie. But I think, honest to goodness, I think I'm feeling as good as I'm going to get. Everything past here is just damage control from the daily wear and tear. I was just watching your past self make a helmet base. Ooh, I'm so excited about that. Like, because well, I try to not get bummed out whenever. Let me keep rummaging for beads. But I try to not get bummed out whenever I do like videos, and I do something wrong in my videos. Like, oh, I don't know, leave out the entire intro. And then I was like, Wendy, come watch my video, and he did. And the first thing he was like, I'm gonna give some critique, and I'm like, because I can't handle critique. No, I can, but it was. I have to be like open-minded to it. Oh, I do like that one. That might be really nice. And he was like, it really needs an introduction. And I was like, I know, I can't believe I forgot it. So I pulled the video, the original helmet one, and then did the introduction today. And I'm really excited about that. So that's good. I think those are going to be the blue beads that I use. Blue beads. Blue beads. Ooh, or do I want to use these ones? Oh, those are pretty too. I'll have them both pulled and we'll decide in a bit. But these are pretty too, but I kind of want to, we could lean into the seafoam green color. Hey Truth Seeker, thanks for popping in even though you can't hang out. So let me put the lid back on it so I'm not just spilling beads everywhere. Hey Amy. Hey, okay. About a week ago, I will resend. Thank you so much, Barbie. Right? But, well, normally I would have just beat myself up about it. So I could lean into that seafoam green color, but I really wanted to bring out those very gentle blue tones that were in here. So that's why I'm not going to go with this color, even though I kind of feel drawn to it. Alright, yeah, that's enough picking beads. I freaking love those trays. But I was really proud of myself to not be beating myself up about it. But I totally kind of buggered that one up. But it was totally also fixable. And then to have been ill and like I didn't get the shop update put together the way that I wanted. But I didn't beat myself up about that either. until, now here publicly flagelling myself for being human. I love seeing your bead drawers. I just started to collect some of those drawers so I can organize my seed bead mess. The tubes, the square tubes are the greatest. I love them. They just that when they fit, and then you shut the, so good. They are so expensive. I know, these are anniversary gifts. That's whenever I get them. And Randy gets me like a 2-pack of the fivers. So like this one and then the one next to it. But once you have like, I could probably use, I think I have all that I need personally just for what I can fit on my shelves. But yeah, they're pretty expensive. It was like, let me see if the price has gone up. I'm not gonna get any work done today. But I appreciate y'all being here to hang out with me. How are you doing? What are these called? Art 5. No, it doesn't need wheels. What are these called? I searched colored pencil drawers. The one that Randy gets me, the 10-drawer artist tool supply box with 5 compartments per drawer, hardwood art box for artist supplies, brushes, pencils, erasers. $69.99. I'm going to put it in the link. So I would, for a couple of years, I got one of those once a year until we had gotten it to where it is now. And I also like them, like, just today, you guys, I put, oh, it's a mess, but I put a bunch of cabochons into the drawers. Always had them in square rectangular tubes, thank goodness, but I used to have them piled in desk drawers. That gets cumbersome quick. I put all the cabs that were on my desk here into the drawer. Hey, Earth, how's it going? Okay. Are we doing, do y'all want to see my talking head? Or do you want to see wire wrapping happen? You get to vote. Just in the chat. I'm not actually going to make a poll. Boop, boop, boop. Thumbs up for the like button. So first things first, I have to check and make sure that my beads actually fit onto my... Earth says I just organized my packing station I made. Congratulations. That's a lot of fun. That's a big deal. Boop, boop, boop. That over there. Oh no. I just unburied another, like, because again, my workstation is a lot cleaner than what it's been in the past. Oh, and your new home? Extra congratulations. But like this is what's wrong with me. This is whenever I'm like, what's my problem? This is my problem. Why am I like this? Ooh, that one's super pretty. But that's not what I'm doing today. The whole focus of why I need to get a chain made for this cab is because I'm making a real short TikTok. And I want it to be good. So I'm going to set that over there. Space, the final frontier. There we go. I'm going to pull my little organizer a little closer to me. I just got your package. I'm excited to open it. Oh, Wanda. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so sorry it took so long to get that sent off to you. I could have sworn that we had sent your giveaway, but I still had your email there in my email, and I was like, I was like, hey, Randy, did we ever send that? And he's like, I don't have any record of it. And I was like, we need to send that. So I'm so sorry, but thank you for your patience. How are you doing, Cricket? Hey, Saki girl. We want both. Okay, I'm going to do my best right here for both. It's literally, we're just making wire wrapped bead links today. So far. That's how I'm kind of trying to ease myself into crafting, because I'm a little like getting kind of weird about it, because I'm trying to not be a workaholic, but I also am running a business out of my home that I'm obsessed about, and crafting is also my hobby. Like, but and it hurts sometimes to do it, but I'm feeling pretty good today. We'll see how it goes. Hey Jackie, how are you doing? Earth says, still lots of organizing to do before I start making some jewelry. Right on. Well, howdy doody, Megan. How are you doing, Megan Lynn Designs? I hear that. I've been in my new place since February and I'm still not organized. Oh no! And I may actually put on my Widow compression gloves. Do I want to make something silvery? I want it to like feel really autumny. Autumny? Autumny? Autumish? Autumny? How do I... Oh, send help. So, this is a 16 gauge wire. So I need to make sure it fits through my bead. It do. That makes me happy. Are these plastic or glass? I can't tell, and that was really loud in my ear. Oh well, I'm going to use them. So I'm going to come through, and I've got all of these like little short stubby ones. This is beautiful. And blue is my favorite color. Oh, Wanda, I'm so glad to hear that. You test them like me on your teeth. I use what God gave me. I don't know what to tell you. Ow. Just clumsiness and gumption. So I'm just making relatively small links. They're not wrapped because this is a 16 gauge wire. I don't think we need to do that unless it's like stylistic. But again, just I'm trying to practice and not holding on to tension while I'm crafting. So I'm trying to do like drunken master wire wrapping, where it's like if I were totally relaxed and floating through time and space and I've never experienced a bad show or illness or stress or anything, what would wire wrapping feel like? Feel pretty good. So I'm gonna pull out just a couple of beads. But yeah, so just trying to not, because like I'll pick up my pliers and I feel my shoulders hunch, I feel my jaws clench, and I'm like, girl, you need to calm down. Which is the worst thing to say to myself when I'm feeling riled up. Ooh, Stephanie says I do have to make a couple of bracelets tonight, disorganized mess or not. What you making bracelets for? Like, earning for the fun of it, I hope. So I gotta learn, but have osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, neck and hands and wrist. Gotcha. Hey, Esoterica, how's it going? But yeah, a whole lot of it is to just breathe. And to have that be, I visualize if my muscles and tendons and joints are dirty dish rags. My breath is the water that rinses the dirty dish rag as we're wringing it out. That's the stretching. So even if I have to stop and just take a second, every second, it's worth it because I've got to retrain this. And I'm having to retrain playing the flute as well because I clench like a grip, like I'm, like it's going to try to get away from me. I like this darker blue. Hey, Valentina says, hi, how are you? I'm doing really well. We missed. I don't know if you saw today's shop update vlog on the Back to Earth Creations main channel, but we straight up had to cancel being at the Moth Market, which is the first time since we started our business that we've canceled an event. There was one time we left an event early, and now there's one time that we just didn't go. Now, I did email and cancel, with the organizers and stuff. I'm not going to ghost them, but I was like, I could not believe. A birthday gift and an anniversary gift. Right on, Stephanie. Those are good. Those are worthwhile projects, for sure. So I kind of want to... So if you have a bead that is kind of not the fanciest, best bead in the whole world, I like to put bead caps on them. So let's see if we have, let me close some things, some bead caps. This is not my bead cap tray. There's a couple of bead caps in here, but it is not like the bead cap tray. But it's just, I don't know, like, I handled it emotionally a lot better than I thought I would. Because, like, I was afraid that I was just going to be chewing my arm off the whole time instead of just laying there getting better. But I was good and sick, so it ended up being just fine. But I guess I needed that time off, y'all. Oh, yes, I love that. Okay. So the bead cap that I'm currently using, that's going to be backwards. Let me flip this so it's right ways. Kaboom. Is this... That's like the item number and stuff. These are from Fire Mountain Gems. I don't know if they still carry them, but it's the 7x3mm 100 pack, which that's what I'm looking for, of these antique copper plated pewter stars. And I think they do pretty okay on a 6mm or especially an 8mm bead. Esoterica says, I have yet to wire wrap, so I'm zoned in. Right on. Do you prefer to make your own style jewelry or do commissioned pieces? Yes. I love both. My favorite is to do my own because there's no pressure or risk of failure. I had, unfortunately, a couple of absolutely atrocious custom orders in the beginning. It's like, and I don't mean to sound hateful, but I'm about to. But it feels like sometimes there's a kind of folk who, like, they'll just know, like, that I desperately needed the money. And so they were so hard to work with. And I felt like I had to be there for it. And I don't know if they knew and they were just like feeding off of that or something, but it's like I had a couple of those back to back, and it kind of gave me a bit of a complex about being afraid of that happening. And once that fear is in my heart, I'm not having nearly as much fun. But it's been long enough. I mean, I'm not going to be saying anybody's names or anything, but it was so difficult to just power through. And it's like, and when somebody makes you feel that way, there's no amount of money that makes it feel worth it. Well, not that I've found. I mean, I'll try. But, and I mean, and that was like closer to like 2016. And I'm carrying too much of that stuff with me. So I found it very hard emotionally too. Right on. Yeah, so it's a lot of the time I'll just be like, let me know if there's something that you're interested in, and I'll see what I can make. And that way, if I make it and you do like it, you'll be the first one to know that I got it listed to the shop. If I make it and you don't like it, there's no obligation. You haven't paid, so if I take too long, it's not like you don't get to be mad at me because I took forever, because that's the part where I'm really bad about getting things done in a timely manner. Yeah, you go above and beyond to please them. Yeah. So that's one of the, I'm making like, they're almost 1.5 inch long links, but I like doing them this way because I'm making a necklace and I think that does just fine. Amazing Amy says, that is why I do not do wedding jewelry. One bridezilla too many. Yep. And it's like, just because you paid a very low commission fee to me does not mean I get to be your punching bag for the next, couple of weeks every time something else goes wrong in some other facet of your life. Bah. And I don't want to take that with me into my day-to-day interactions. So I'm practicing. Oh, Esoterica says, what area of the U.S. are you in? Just curious if you vend anywhere in my area. Currently, well, we live in southwestern Missouri near Joplin. But the 2 events a year that we definitely vend are Anime St. Louis, like 4 hours away from where I live, and then Dragon Con in Atlanta, Georgia, which is like, if we did mid, the GPS says it's 14 hours away, but it usually takes us 16. Um, so we tried, we were gonna vend a local event, but man, I came down with a fever, and but the shakes, I was so weak and wobbly and like uncontrollably. Like, I mean, I had to like hold myself there sitting in the van seat just to not be like shaken off of my situation. But it just could not. Like, I've been dunked in water borderline, like not quite borderline hyperthermic, but I've been dunked in cold water and shivering from being cold before, and it was not as violent as what that shaking was. So it scared me a little, but I was like, I don't think we should vend, Randy. And he's like, I think you're right. And I was like, don't take me to the hospital. And he was like, for now. And I was like, for now. And but we got home and it was fine. So Michelle says was watching the shop update and giveaway video. Oh, well, bless your heart. How are you doing, Michelle? I was just watching that too, and then the helmet tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching our videos. I hope that they're helpful to you. So I'm doing just a little 2mm bead. I'm so glad that I'm doing better too. Like so much. So much. Esoterica says, I'm in Florida. I'm sorry I missed what's going on with your health. What's going on? Have you self-diagnosed or diagnosed? I just had a fever and the shakes, and I sweated it out, and I'm all better now. We didn't go to the doctor because I haven't been to the doctor like since when Randy and I first started dating, but that's a discussion that I'm not going to have today. Um, and then we need to practice our inner Elsa. Let it go. Yes. um, Let me see. I think I missed a. Oh, Stephanie said, I'm so sad for you missing the moth market, but so glad you put your health first. I'm really glad. I'm really glad that we were able to cancel, that it was only a $60 booth fee, that the organizers seemed very understanding. I should have asked. Our friends Anita and Sean were there. Those are two separate vendor buddies that I haven't seen. I haven't met Anita in person yet, but I'm already like, she my buddy. And Sean, we haven't seen him. Gosh, y'all might remember him from chat. It was Peddler's Medley. He does these really cool like spray paint art, and we were gonna get to see him set up vending there. I should have been like, did they fill our spot? Because I hope there was not an empty spot there. Like, oh man, I'd hate to do that, to an organizer, but it's also, I'm not going to show up and like spread, whatever. I don't know if it was a viral or what, but I never got any congestion. I just had a super bad fever. I hope it wasn't in my head, but like, because I told I don't know why I'm like this. I was sitting there like shaking, just like, and I was like, I'm not doing this for attention. And he's just like, nobody's even implied that you're doing this for attention. I'm like, I know, I just needed to say it. Like, I'm so broken on the inside, you guys. With these ridiculous things. Oh man, Megan says I was bedridden with a fever this weekend too. It's pretty horrible. Glad you're doing better. Yeah, it totally sucked. Like, I was having a blast though. I was watching YouTube videos and eating soup whenever I finally woke up and had any sort of appetite. And Ember Cat laid with me, and if she wasn't laying with me, Mr. Puddums was laying with me because it was so rainy. Our first like genuine like autumn thunderstorm this Saturday, which I'm glad I didn't have to set up and tear down in. I'm not gonna lie. This would have been the worst weekend to have tried to just power through. Because we were gonna have the grid wall backdrop and everything. Like, y'all, we did like the mock booth setup in the house. We were ready. But now we're ready for next time. Like, technically the van's still loaded. I could go do a show next weekend. We're not gonna, but we haven't booked anything. All right, so there's our second little link. And I think I'm just going to make a bunch of these because I don't know how I want to do this cab yet, because it's real simple. It's just a little round cabochon. It doesn't have a groove or anything. Oh my gosh, Michelle says, just saw our above the washer and dryer cabinets are up for delivery 2 days early. Oh, congratulations. Updating my mask that we did with the Coven group the other day and hang out with the boys at the little house. Oh, that sounds nice. I got it bad, whatever it was. But it was nice to just be at home. Because it's I'm recovering from being a workaholic. I'm actively trying to find, like, not find, but willfully create balance in my own life to the extent, wait, was I a liar that whole time? Are these 18 gauge? Those were 18 gauge. This is 16 gauge, which still fits. Oh yeah, still fits. Hey Ebo, how's it going? But this one's quite short. You can see, let's see, how many millimeters is this? This one is 32 millimeters. Can I link it? We'll see. Oh, got food poisoning for the first time in my life last week. It was horrible. Oh, Stephanie, that's the worst. I'm so sorry. Like, I've eaten enough gas station sushi that I don't ever want to get food poisoning ever again. Ooh, they would look cute, Michelle. Man, and I know I'm gripping my stuff too hard because I don't know if you can see, but there's a little notch pinched into my loop there on the 16 gauge. But this is the 16 gauge next to the 18 gauge. I don't know if you can see how much thicker one is than the other. So I'm just going to slide on. I love these lolly beads because they fit even onto the 16 gauge wire. Oh no, I don't think I'm going to have enough wire, you guys. Ruh-roh. I don't know, let's see. I'm actually going to flip this around. That way y'all can get a nice, hopefully clear look at, how do I flip the camera? I'm gonna go like this, and I'm just going to set that there for just a minute. That way I'm not shaking you around when I'm messing with the tripod. All right. Huzzah, look at us go. Alrighty. But yeah, this way we can see what can we get away with as far as, I'm going to trim that tip. I know it's taking away precious material, but it was all tapered and I was going to have a hard time grabbing it anyways. Oh no. This is so, I don't think that's going to work, you guys. It's a little too short. Okay. Well, that's all right. Now we know that we'll need something probably at least 35 millimeters. Hey Cindy, how's it going? So that's okay. We'll just put that in our current fairy bottle. Let's see, which one's our current one? Ooh, this one's filling up nicely. I just love putting all the little bits of wire and any broken beads and things like that into a little bottle like this. Oh no, Stephanie says this was just a hot dog from my own house. Even if they haven't been in the fridge that long, don't trust the hot dog. Oh no. And it says, I was bedridden with a fever this weekend too. Oh, I do hope you are feeling better. I see better now. Gotcha. Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad we're all feeling more like ourselves. So now that we know that it's not going to be long enough to, if we use something under 35 millimeters, and in fact, I should probably go with something closer to 40. 36, that'll do. So those two are long enough. So I'm just sifting through my pile. Of scrap. Too short. That's the only time in my life you'll hear me say that. And it's just too short for what I'm currently working on. That one's close. I'm gonna risk it. I don't know. Yeah, it'll work. There's a lot of COVID type flu about everywhere. Wipes out a lot of people as in bedridden. Oh goodness. I think it's been helping that, just Randy and I have been trying to drink a bunch of water. Like, we're always in preparation for, any second we're going to get just knocked on our butts. So we've been staying on top of keeping the house in order. And that way, whenever I did get sick, it was very easy to, kind of recover. Like, Randy and I cleaned the whole house, did the full house vacuum yesterday, which, part of that is we also tidy up surfaces and, like, gather up all the laundry. And you just, I'll be right back, you guys. But cleaning up the house is this week. It is the part of my workaholic recovery, like self-diagnosed workaholic recovery program, that I have a hard stop at 6 o'clock. I am off work, even though I work from home. 6 o'clock, I am off of work. And so for me, that means I'm not allowed to get any more video of anything, with the intent of making, like, and I'm in a little bit of a detox right now. So it's like, if one of the critters are being cute, I'll be like, Randy, can you get video of this? And he's very understanding, and, and I appreciate that because it's helping a lot. Because part of it is just holding my phone also exacerbates the pain in my wrists, which sounds ridiculous, but it's like I just needed a full-on actual break and had a little bit of one. But I don't bounce back the way that I used to. I could just kind of brutalize myself in the past and just keep working for like 18 years. I think it went that way. And now it's like, no, I hit that official burnout wall of just, I can't squeeze any more, can't squeeze any more out. And, taking 2 days off of recovery isn't enough to kind of reheal what's been broken. And, so I'm trying real hard to be very diligent about, okay, it's 6 p.m. No more, I'm not going to answer any more emails. I'm not going to check on comments, or I don't get on social media, like, because one of the traps I'll find myself in is, oh, well, I'm just kind of not bored, but just looking to get that happy brain chemical. I'm going to go watch some Instagram, just scroll, see what my friends are up to. And before I know it, I'm like feeling guilt that it's like, I wish I made good reels, or, oh, you know, I wish that video I had made was doing better, or, you know, just terrible, a horrible frame of mind to be in. It's not constructive at all. I'm just tearing myself down, you know, and beating myself up. And it's like, I don't need to be off the clock kicking my own butt. All right, I don't think the 36 is long enough either. So, like the 36 millimeter. But we can make some shorties. And so for a shorty, I'm just going to do the 3 millimeter. And so I'm just going to detox. I don't get on social media or anything. It's like I need to give myself time and space to breathe. And after like the fourth day of doing that, because I've been tracking all of it, which at first Randy was like, "Are you sure? This seems like a lot of work." And I was like, "It is, but I think it's gonna be good." So, you know, and he's very supportive. So he's like, "All right," because he's seen me, you know, plan myself into the ground before with I get really excited about planners sometimes, and I like went bonkers, absolutely bonkers over happy planners, and then passion planners, and then I made my own planner, the Compass Rose planner, and then that's where I really burnt myself out. um oh wow, Earth says I detoxed from Facebook for 18 months and love it, so deleted my account. Right on. Well, that's awesome. I hope that works out for you too. And I keep finding myself in these, you know, because like I'm envious of you that you got to do that, and it's, but I have this concept in my head that it's like I wish I could do that, but I can't because I have to, like, that's the another one of the traps that I'll find myself in, is I have to insert task or thing or here in order to be successful with my business, sometimes because that's just the way I've always done it, you know. And so whenever I catch myself having that thought process, it's like, first off, why do I think this way? Also, does it still serve me? And so, you know, social media has historically for Randy and I's business been really a huge driving force behind what Randy and I do. But I just don't know that it still serves me. Earth says social media is such an entrapment, especially in business. Yeah, you know, and it's ever since they started letting business accounts pay for ads, that was where we took an absolute punch to the gut in our numbers, because, you know, we've got like, what, 18,000 like followers or likes or something, whatever it is, on Facebook. And it's like, but I feel very lucky that we get maybe, you know, 20 or 30 likes on a post. Like if we get more than 20 likes on a post, I feel like I've had a very successful, you know, yeah, that's awesome. You know, cuz technically, you know, I don't need everybody on the internet to like what I do. I just need to reach the people who do like what we do. And so I've refused, I'm never paying for ads or anything. That's probably detrimental to our business, but, you know, poo. But, because that's something that working late into the night was one of those things that I was like, oh, I have to do it because it's what we did in the past. And it's like, well, in the past, we did 30 plus conventions a year. Hey, Stormtrooper. Ole. Hey, Anika. How's it going? I'm really digging these little shorties, too. Not every single link that you make in a necklace has to be the same. And so, yeah, we are at the beginning. I guess Saturday was the 1 week mark of my DIY workaholic detox uh, rehab plan. Oh, really, Megan? Oh, right on. She says, honestly, I find that respectable, Vaughn. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea what I just said. I'm just here on the inner thought process is just out loud right now because I'm trying to um, understand. Oh, I'm sorry. An email just popped up. Barbie! Those cabs are gorgeous. Like the bracelets that you made around the cabochons. Oh, okay. Yellow, red, and another one in green. I will see what I can do. What I'm going to do, Barbie, for those cabs is I'm going to make some in those colors and then just post them up onto the website. And I'll reply to this email that you've sent, which I've just started. Um, I'll reply to the email when we get them listed. You'll be the first to know. That's very healthy, Saki girl. But it's I still, during my work day, I'll get on and but I'll track like the hourlies of it. So like here you can see, and you can almost see just the deterioration, or not the deterioration, but the frequency that which I was, kind of putting everything. It went from being like super dense, all of these like neurotic thoughts and concerns and stuff, but like I'd log like uh if I'm in physical pain, I'll write that down. If I am feeling agitated about work, I'll write that down, and I keep that in like an hourly log. um Hey Haley. Haley asks, "Hi, what is the thinnest gauge wire you'd use for these?" For an unwrapped loop like this one here, I don't like to use thinner than an 18 gauge, mostly because I'm clumsy and very animated. So my bracelets will get snagged on things that you wouldn't like a cabinet door handle, like the up high cabinets. I've gotten bracelets caught on those before, and it's like, why are you like that? Like things that it shouldn't be getting it caught on will get caught, and so that's why I'll do the wrapped loops. That way, I'm not breaking my bracelets. But if you're gentler on your jewelry or making them for earrings, you could probably do this style of link in 20 gauge wire. But here I'm using 18 gauge and 16 gauge because I've got my little bag of scrap that is getting significantly full. So, and then you could use a 20 or even a 22 gauge if you're doing a wrapped loop style. Like this one here, I can't quite tell. I think I have a tool for this, don't I? Vaughn, where? I saw this thing on the internet and I don't know anything about it, but it's this tadpole faced alien looking creature named Marcus who threw itself into a fire, and like I don't know, it was like hanging out with somebody named Robert, and it would go, Robert, and he would be like, yeah, Marcus, and then it would go, I hate this rock. And it was just it's not making any sense. It was funny to me. But now whenever I'm like Vaughn, it makes me feel like I'm Marcus going, Robert. This is a 20 gauge. This was probably one of my favorite things that ever came in the Potomac bead boxes, which were pretty good. Like, this is no longer sponsored. They don't send us boxes anymore. But this is a very handy tool because you can find out what gauge your stuff is. So yeah, that's a 20 gauge. It doesn't go in there. Gotcha. That's a good way of putting it, Saki girl. But yeah, week 1 of the workaholic detox was stopping work at 6, no social media or phone or anything after 6. And whenever I'm off work, I go do something physical and non-productive. So I'm not doing a workout. I'm not, doing garden chores. I'm not there. There can be no, oh, I made progress in that thing. Now, I do allow myself to do yoga, but I'm not following a video. Like, so it's even just laying on the floor, breathing for 20 minutes. That is physical and it is not work. Now, I'll normally go and like take a walk around in the backyard or like go upstairs and do some stretching, and I'll light like some incense or something, just trying to help physically indicate to myself that it's like I am home now. I am off work. I changed the lighting. So like this light up here, Boom, that one and that one. And then we've got 2 more over there. These are like recording lights. After 6 p.m., unless we've dropped something, those are not on. Like, I turn them off, and then we just have all like the fairy lights and stuff. And so, and I'm having to be really strict about these things. And these aren't like new rules, they're just things that I neglect. And so, in week 1, I tracked every hour, you know, how I was physically feeling, how I was mentally feeling, and I only checked in if it was bad. Like, because I didn't want to be like, okay, it's been 55 minutes. How are you doing now, brain? Like, I was like, that feels like too much work, and I don't feel excited about that. But just writing down, like, whenever I'm miserable, I want to bitch and moan and complain anyways. So it's fantastic to go journal about it, because my journal always wants to hear what I have to say. And so does Randy, but also I want to do more than just complain at him. Oh, I love how that's looking. And then this week, I can't remember what I added. But I set up a little 4-week plan based off of what Google said I should do. So my AI life coach said that I need to work less and pet the dog more. So I was like, okay, that sounds like solid advice. But no, and honestly, it's just been about slowing down and taking Randy's advice and taking the advice of my friends. Well, I don't know how many times so many of y'all have been like, you know, don't forget to rest, don't forget to take a break. And I'm like, yes, yes, that sounds fun and awesome. And then I just don't take the break. I fully intend to, but then I just keep not prioritizing it. And, well, that doesn't get me anywhere. So the 16 gauge, I seem to be having a much, like, not a much more difficult, but there is definitely a difference. You can't just use the same size loop, like the same area on the nose of your pliers. Words are hard. Because this one's thicker, it's going to take more wire to get the same size loop. So you'll want to do the bend to give yourself, you want to keep that in mind. Is it better or worse without that light? I think it's better. We'll see. Earth says, then your body makes you rest. Yup, it does. If you do not schedule maintenance for your machinery will schedule it for you, is I believe how the quote goes. But near the end of the first week, I started also actively logging like gratitude and when good things happen, you know, and it's just little things like I'll just do like a smiley face is how it started, you know, and then kind of went from there. And already, even with being sick as a dog in between, I'm feeling so much more like myself and struggling but achieving, not, you know, now that I'm feeling better and my energy feels back, I'm like, all right, let's dive back in. And it's like, girl, slow down. Slow down. Like, because otherwise I'm just going to keep repeating this cycle. And I'm so tired of this cycle. So, going nice and slow. Crafting. I don't really have a vision in mind. I'm just having fun. And I think that's the whole point of my work day today. Because I was sitting here, you know, the tree feller came and, you know, looked at the trees, and we got scheduled up for next week. And then so that was my big task, like my big thing for today was doing the shop update video, fixing the edit, and the tree guy. Is that like, because to me that doesn't sound like much, but then whenever I think about it, I'm like, well, it did take a full morning of like, I worked nonstop on those things. You know, Randy and I had breakfast together and then kept working, and then the tree guy. So it's like, I didn't even do my yoga or my guitar, or like, I didn't hang out in the garden this morning. So it's like, why do I feel like that's not enough? And I was sitting here fixing to chew my arm off out of feeling like I should desperately, like I need to get back to work. And week one, I was able to start identifying that, like, not quite panic feeling, but like kind of panic feeling. Um, and be like, whenever I feel that way, I don't need to give into it, because then I'm just sitting there agitated at myself that I'm not being more productive. And so I was like, I think I'll live stream. I feel like, hanging out and getting y'all's perspective and ideas on this, because it's anytime that I open up about this, I find out so quickly how parallel some of our paths can be. Of oftentimes the things I'm struggling with, one or many of y'all have already been through and conquered. Michelle says, be like the sloth. Oh, yes. And so thank you guys for being here and hearing me go on and on about this. But I seek to understand myself so that I can better function in this silly meat suit that my brain rides around in. Apparently, I gotta get them to work together, allegedly. So even though this one is technically long enough probably to do the full length, I want to do 3 on this side and this side, and I only have 2 on this side. Ooh, Earth says, yes, I make gratitude diaries and it does help. I have also fibromyalgia too, but it's like I can't take pills to make me well, so I'm doing self sessions with diary and meditations. My goodness. Oh, that's a lot to bear through. I'm going to be honest, fibromyalgia is one of those things that I live low key in fear of. Because it's like, what do you even do? Like, oof. So I'm doing self sessions with diary meditations. Okay. But yeah, being in physical pain puts me immediately into a fear state, and I'm trying really hard to work on that. Like, and I tell myself the fear of the pain is worse than the pain itself, which really it is. Like, because oftentimes it's just being tensed up, worried about being tensed up. It's like, come on. It's good to open up. You're human and we all go through stuff similar, or know stuff that can help, or know ways and means. Right on. You just have to see through pain in a different way. Ooh. I guess I'm seeking to understand how I see it now, because I'm not even really aware of that. It's just there was a video that my father took of one of my birthdays when I was very little, and my mom had me in my high chair, and she had brought out this big smiley face foil balloon, the helium ones. It looked in the video, it must have been the first time I had ever seen a helium balloon, or been in close quarters with it, because, and I was a little princess. Like, I was not much of a like a climby, active child. Like, I would just sit there like a cat on a cushion and be perfectly content. Um, and the in the video, the little weight at the end of the string had, I like, you could see the child Vaughn's eyes watching that land, and then I followed this string up, and this huge smiley face balloon, and I scared, and climbed out and down like I knew what I was doing, climbing down the scaffolding of that old high chair. And it's that feeling whenever I'm like worried about pain. It's that immediate, like, I have got to do something. Oh, and so I'm just trying to pick that apart and understand it. And then I can work from there on reframing it. But otherwise, it's just trying to catch a fly to put it into a jar, to be like, this thing that's flying around and hard to pin down. Michelle says, I don't fear the pain. I fear the length of time it will take for recovery. Gotcha. Just the prospect of recovery gives me such hope. Like, every time that I don't hurt anymore, I write about it in my diary to my future self to read whenever I'm in pain again, because it'll take everything in my whole mind over, like a like it's all I can think about, and it feels like it's all there ever was. And I'm like, this doesn't seem healthy. So that's where I'm starting, is trying to, and by logging, see, it wasn't forever. I only did 3 frowny faces today, of like, for that's my pain meter. I don't have a great like system, but it's better it's a work in progress. It doesn't have to be perfect. Hey Sarah, how's it going? Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got enough. We could do like a whole bracelet. Do you think that'd be cute to do like a bracelet of these? Just strung together kind of end to end. I think that would be such a cute, like, I don't know if it's vintage or fairy core or what. I kind of want to put some moss agate with it. But no, for bracelets, I personally really like the shorter style. So, and we'll be able to use some of these longer wires. Oh, we got some vintage bronze. What was this one? Plumbing problems, so home with the plumber. Ooh. Well, I hope everything gets fixed well. Sorry, after we get this tree branch taken down, calling a plumber in is the next thing that is on our, what we're doing for that. No, this is a 22 gauge. I'm sorry. What was I talking about? We're going to be bringing a plumber in. So that's why I'm like, ooh, a plumber, not like. I'm just going to stop talking while I'm ahead. Earth says, it is hard every day and night not knowing if going to be a good day or painful day, but when I have a good day, boy, I'll go all out. I can't pace myself. I understand that. It's like a puppy getting the zoomies is what it feels like to me. Right? Sarah, we got this out of one of the Potomac beads bead boxes back when we were getting those. And it's probably the coolest little tool. It's got a spot for seed beads, for the wire gauges, for like big old like, round size beads, which I wonder. Ooh, let's do science time. So yeah, that's a 6 millimeter. But these are kind of more like, what is this, a lantern bead? Because it's a little oval. I wonder if a square, like, how does it measure bicones? Because I'm pretty sure this is a 6 millimeter bicone. Yeah, the whole thing just rolls around. Oh, look at that. That sits so nice. It sits well that way. Okay. Nice. I don't know, I have beads and I just trust what the manufacturer says they are. Like as far as the sizes go, so it's kind of fun to actually measure your beads. Oh, right on. Amy says, amazing. Amy says, Fire Mountain Gems had something like that a very long time ago. They are handy. Ooh, Michelle says, right, like after we got back from camping, my knee was really bothering me, and I had my doctor's appointment for my knee doctor, and he gave me an injection that day, and I swear I felt like a kid. Oh, I'm so glad that the future is now, y'all. Being able to go and get an injection, like, oh, I'm gonna have to get a bunch of jewelry made so I can get doctor's appointments. I love these bead caps. I like the pewter ones better than kind of the really lightweight punched ones. I like for my metal components to have a little bit of weight to them. And I don't understand the logic, like my logic of why I feel that way, but I think I do feel that way. Ooh, Khalidi says, hey Vaughn, if your kitchen window faces your backyard garden, you can get an adapter to fit your faucet and hose. Maybe a solution until the plumber. That's a really good idea, Khalidi. That's a really good idea. We'll keep that in mind. But the toilet yells at us when we flush it. So I think there's a mineral buildup in the valve, like the refill valve seal. And so I've just got to, it'll be a matter of just finding the part number for that. But then we've got the upstairs toilet, like the floor and everything needs fixed in that room because it is just like sinking. Because somebody cut through one of the support beams to put in the plumbing for the toilet. Like this was before we moved in. Because they it was plumbed up for like a 1905 toilet that like it didn't have where the pipe came like down in the same way, or maybe there wasn't even one there, I don't know, but somebody cut through one of the main support beams, so now like that whole bathroom, instead of the floor being nice and flat, it like won't dips in a little, so the toilet's like rocking. It's horrible. And so I don't know how we're gonna, like, I can't just go into Lowe's and buy a toilet and be like, yes, come install it, because they've got this nightmare to come into. Um, I wonder if you can make one in plastic of that with drills set, jeweler's drill. I don't know. Like, can you specify one of what? One of these? Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, I'm trying to eat through my bag of scrap wire because it is getting. It was not supposed to just be here. Like this wasn't supposed to be permanent. I think I'm gonna have to make a little drawer or something. Oh, that'd be wicked cool actually. But yeah, make a little drawer, that way that's where my scrap wire goes. Oh, it really, Stephanie says, wow, the internet is crazy today. Is it like lagging a bunch or? Oh, well, thank you, Sarah. I used up as much as ooh, I threw that on me. Okay, I got it. I used up as much as I could on. I'm gonna save that one. That's a 22 gauge. You got a real nice. I'm gonna use that gauge again. Ah, the ruler thing, yeah. Is that a 20 gauge? I don't know. I think just because I can fit it in doesn't mean that it is. This is a thickest 20 gauge. I'm just going to compare to the one. Oh no, what if this is standard wire gauge instead of American wire gauge? Oh man, really, Stephanie? She says, yeah, I can either have the stream be live or I can have live chat, but not both. That is wild. Now this is definitely an 18 gauge, I think. Let me test them both on the gauge. Ooh, that's a good question. Earth says, is it a 21 gauge? I don't think it would be. The only 21 gauge that I've ever had in my studio, yeah, those fit the same, is a 21 gauge square, so it's really easy to identify. So I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to just come in here and like dump my whole personal problems and like my amateur self-diagnosed workaholic recovery plan. But I mean, if it works, then that's something, and I'm already feeling a lot better, so I don't feel at all that it's been wasted effort. And I think any time taken for a little bit of introspection and perspective can be really good. Well, let me make sure that I'm not like on my house internet or something. I am, but we have fiber, so it should be. Randy, if you're watching, is this coming good and clear for you? Oh, okay. Said some server or something went down today. It's affecting a lot of businesses and whatnot. Oh, goodness. And here I am sucking up the bandwidth with, let me talk about my problems. Right on. Thank you, baby. Having to stop myself from being like, let's everyone get a round of applause for Randy for keeping me alive over the weekend. Right on, Sarah.
Oh, Sarah says, so sorry you missed the moth market. Me too. I was pretty bummed, but I was feeling so rough that I was just happy to get to be home instead of having to be standing upright. It does sound like it would have been really fun and different. But the good news is they also have a moth market in Joplin, Missouri. Like this isn't the only one that they have a year. And hopefully, I mean, as soon as I knew I was ill, I sent them a message, the moth market coordinators, and let them know and was like, I understand I'm not going to be able to get a refund. Like it was literally the day before, like we were going up for Friday setup, and like we had loaded the van that morning and everything, and I felt fine. It was just wild. It was out of nowhere. But hopefully, I haven't burnt any bridges or anything like that. With the coordinators by canceling. And I hope that I'll be able to do some of their. Yeah, I bet. That was my thinking that they appreciated me not sharing it. The Von Crud. But I didn't mean. I never. I know I can be a flake sometimes with like social interactions, and so I try really hard to uh, to not do that. Just cause knowing that I've got the tendency towards it. So I want to do sharper, really nice and sharp 90-degree bend. Oh, memory usage, gotcha. This is where we get to talk about it and share experiences and we can help each other. Well, I appreciate y'all. Oh, okay. Stretch time. Look at me listening to my body and crap. Oh, but I was gonna get to see the Red Moon Studio perform. I was gonna get to see the Slice Girls. There was like a lizard show or something going on the next, like y'all, this is how ill I felt. We didn't even go in, like once we had canceled, we didn't even go in and look at, they were having a hot tub sale. And well, maybe I need a hot tub, but I will 100% stream making jewelry in that hot tub so that I can finally pull off, check off my little list of being a hot tub streamer. But I want a hot tub. So the fact that I wasn't feeling well enough. I say we, but like Randy was very thoughtful of me. Like he was not about to ask me to push myself. So that'll get you more views. It'll get more something. More hot tub, and that's what I'm looking for. Hot tub, hot tub. Oh, are any of y'all like fellow hot tub enthusiasts? Because I just want to be soup. Like, oh. And my favorite hot tub experience has been at the campground that I lived at when I was a kid. Like we were just campers there, so it was a lot of fun to not really have to be responsible of like running a campground or anything, but just to get to be there. But this is part of why Randy and I's like forever dream is to we'd love to be able to have a campground that we could host events at, like if that makes sense. But they had a cedar hot tub, like it was like an 8-seater, 8-person. So I said Seater, but it was made of cedar, Cedar. I think those two words sound a lot alike when I say them. And in southern Ohio, and it's like you could sit in the hot tub, and I was a kid, so like you could just float in the whole thing. This bubbling wood-fired hot tub under the stars. It was just amazing. There's nothing like stargazing
from a hot tub in January with a wood smoke and everything. Like, the stargazing's not that great actually, but it's amazing. And so I'm chasing that dragon. And man, especially with my tailbone and stuff, which is actually feeling really good today. And I don't know if it's because I took a couple of days off from belly dance, and I don't know if it's because I took a couple of days off from sitting, like, because I was laying down from being sick. But yeah, they are great. Like, doing I don't know, like, just crack, 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 crack all the way up. It was awesome. And then there was another campground that Randy and I went to that they had a very modern hot tub where it's like it like cups you and the jets go all down your spine like you're a pod in the Matrix. But it was like a 4-seater. And Randy and I had the whole hot tub. Like, we always go camping to places like during the week. So if it's someplace resorty that like a campground that has hot tubs, nobody's there on a Tuesday, so we get to watch like the maintenance staff mow and stuff, but I don't care because we have the hot tub to ourselves. And oh my gosh, it's so good. Like, so I don't know which one, if I were to, so yeah, if I were feeling as good as I'm feeling today, we would have been like, let's not set up the booth for half an hour and let's go look at the hot tub show. So we didn't go. I was dead. Husband says AWS is down, so lots of data storage spots are down. Oh, goodness. What's it? I don't know what that is, but I hope everything gets resolved well. We got to do more. I can't just get back to work immediately. I'm making myself do not work. All right, this is actually pretty fun. Oh, and it stretched my spine. Okay, yeah. This feels pretty good. Ooh, we should light some incense. You think we should light some incense? This would be the perfect moment for like my mother or a teacher that I respected from high school to click on my channel and be like, "Yep, I'm at work, Mom. Wee, look at me go." I know, and that's the part. That's the hardest part. Is I'll like drag my feet about doing not work, but if I don't take this break, then that's nice. Then I'm not gonna be able to keep working. So I'll be right back. Wee. Randy? Randy, if you smell burning, I'm setting stuff on fire. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. We're going to stand for a bit too, so I'm going to get that. Hey, neck popper, how's it going? I love having a standing desk. Ooh, that does sound awesome. Okay,
This is boring. Yeah, my bad. I had to take a bio break and light some incense unrelated. It's at the other end of the house. We wouldn't need, y'all can't smell anyways, but hey Melisandre, how's it going? Okay, so far we have gotten, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, these couple of, we've got our inch long wrapped links that are gonna be on like either side of the pendant. And then we've got quite a few. We've got 3 on each side that are just gonna get strung together kind of like that, back to back, of the shorter links. And then we've got a few more beads that I was thinking I was just going to continue making the links for a whole bracelet. Though I don't know, it may be a second layer. Ooh, that's a good idea, because I could make it be this style like the one I'm wearing, y'all. And so these could be the beads that are coming across here. I like that idea. So that's what we've got going on so far. Let me bring this camera down. And we're going to flip it around. How's that going? And I'm doing all of this with scrap clay and some of these old beads. And this is the cabochon that I would like to match. Because I think I love that. It reminds me of like Stargate Atlantis or something, to have that like that really luminous, the dichroic glass and just the blue of it and the way that the light just like kind of pops out. I just love it. So we're just going to do a 3mm bead. A bead cap. One of these, I think 6x7 maybe, lantern style beads. And then the bead cap. And then a 3mm. There we go. Got that threaded on. Ah, well, thank you. This was that makes me so happy. I was trying to make something opalescent, but this is some of our home fused glass, and this is actually one from the batch that we're sending out in October's craft along kits. So I want to do this bend nice and close to our bead. That way everything stays nice and snug. Yeah, the Dicrow's opal, the tile is like ham, has been the general consensus. On it's either ham or pale pink rose petals is what folks have dubbed it on social media, which has been probably my favorite social media experience in a while. I think I may start just making weird things just to see the funny things that people say about them. Because y'all are hilarious. Yes, the chunks of ham. Like, oh boy. Because I was kind of going for brains, but I was hoping that, you know, if nothing else, it would at the very least just be like elegant and beautiful. And no, it's ham. Like, I'll take it. I'm going to have to clear some things, at least a little bit, just to get it maybe easier for the camera to focus. So another thing Ooh, what I'll do is I'll trade these two because they're out of antique copper. And so now we've got those mixed metal tones going on. So this one's going to be the pendant. Oh, you know, it would look super cool if we grooved it though. I'm going to take a moment because we don't have to be cranking out a ton of jewelry. And this is something that is really challenging for me, is I'm so caught up. I've found myself so caught up in being productive that I'm not getting a single thing done because I freeze before I start. And that's, I think a lot of folks experience that. It seems like it's good to know that I'm not alone because I've had lots of folks over the years asking comments, how do we get out of this funk? And the best advice that I've seen others give, because I'm like, I don't know, because I'm getting into my funk. Like I'm not at that stage in my journey yet, so I don't know what advice to give. But I'm so glad that I still, you know, that other commenters would comment and be helpful to each other, because for one, I know I'm not alone, and for two, y'all, yep, mindset is so hard to change, but it's just knowing that I wasn't alone in dealing with this and having heard so much good advice of just, you know, slow down, rest. You know, you don't have to be productive to prove your existence has worthwhile. Like little things like that. Um so instead of forcing myself, I was like, I'm just going to get started. And I'm using trash technically. You know, there's some, I've never met one, but I bet there's somebody out there who would have just thrown this away. But I think with crafty folks, I've thrown wire away before. Like if I'm like crafting in public and I don't have any way to take it back home for some reason, sometimes it just has to go into the trash because I've stabbed myself with scrap wire. And that's no fun. But I had just let myself start crafting without, I don't need to get 10 of something made today. I don't need to get 5 of something made today. I don't need to get anything completed today. I can just craft. And today's been one of the most productive days I've had since DragonCon. No. Wait, did we do that headdress before or after DragonCon? I can safely say it's since the camp along. I probably had some other productive days before then, but so I'm thinking ooh. Michelle says, oh, hey, Amanda says, hey guys, now I have company while I sew. Hey, Amanda. And then Michelle says, question, how would you guys make a normal, like those little bells that you can get from the Dollar Tree or from the Hobby Lobby? Like the little packages of silver bells, the little ones to be more jingly. Are you asking how we get those little bells to be more jingly? I think I've seen somebody put pliers in there and like force the little openings in the bells open more to let more sound out, but you got to be careful that it doesn't let the clanker or whatever is on the inside. Gotcha. Whoops. Khalidi says playing with my supplies often opens a design portal. That is some 100% grade A wisdom right there. And I think the key word is playing. And I'll try to trick myself into playing with my beads by being like, well, I'll clean my workstation. But that's like the worst. Like, I don't want to clean my workstation. Are you kidding me? But yeah, I'm giving my hand a break, but we're going to go ahead and take an opportunity to be slow and be like, if I were to make something beautiful today, or let's just remove the time limit. If I were to make something beautiful that I want to see, what would it look like? Might look something like that. That might be an 8 or a 10 millimeter bead, possibly even a coin bead, if I don't want the depth of something round. But this is a pretty thick cabochon, so I think I wouldn't mind. Ooh, that was loud and scared the out of me. Whew, super durable though. Whew, sorry everybody. Um, I think I'd enjoy something with like some thickness. Ooh, Earth says, question, how do you use the tiniest of scraps, say 3 to 5 millimeters? Okay, so this is just hoarding trash at this point, but I like to take these little tiny bottles and I put my tiny scraps in them. But look at them, they're adorable. And like whenever I have just a little bit of like a 24, 26, or 28 gauge wire, so you can see there's some broken beads, there's like weird tiny little bits. I mean, you could wire wrap this and sell it as a steampunk or something, you know, whatever the trendy modern version is. Um, but you could make this steampunk, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it because I'm excited. And I like any excuse to play with my miniatures. Okay, so what? Where'd it go? Uh-oh. Okay, fine. I lost my miniature bookcase. I can't find it. Uh-oh. That's what I get for cleaning. Found it. Found it. Boom. So I have one of these little bookcases from back whenever, and it's dusty just like my real house. Look, the miniature dust is so accurate. um, but from back when we had a laser cutter. How the Dr. Farnsworth of you, and thus this is how I swear my various lengths of wire. I mean, you're not wrong though. There's some grade A, genuine, authentic dust. Okay, but like if this were a miniature for realsies, like if I'm not just setting it up. Okay, I think as part of my workaholic recovery, I think I'm going to have to, because it's just like me to put something tall in front of another thing to where now I can't take that thing off of its shelf. But oh, what was I saying? We're going to have, part of my workaholic recovery is I'm going to have to put together one of those miniature dollhouse things that is just like, I can't sell it, I can't anything, but it's going to make me play because miniatures are just pure and absolute fun. Or it might be time for another witch's cabinet. And then at Dragon Con, somebody gave me this anatomically correct heart. So, like, how messed up is that? Spooky organ meat. Oh no, Amanda says, am I the only one having a buffering issue? I don't know. Ah! Woo! My heart! Ugh, it's okay. Boom, we're all right. But yeah, so that's what I do with my scrap wire. Another witch's cabinet, right on. I think we'll have to. Super durable. But yeah, I miss having, I miss designing for and having the finished end result of laser cutter. But I hated that Glowforge. Nothing about it was easy. This is the thickest thing we could cut on there. This 1/8 inch thick birch plywood. And even then, we would have to come through with like a craft knife and try to carefully cut out because the pieces would not be cut all the way through. And the thing is that even whenever we got it caught on fire and it was still in warranty and we sent it back and they sent us a refurbished one, that refurbished one would cut through it at first and then it wouldn't anymore. And nothing that we did with the maintenance that we followed by their guide, we went to their freaking Reddit or whatever it was. Like, I was so frustrated with that Glowforge. And ever since then, anybody that I see put together a really fantastic marketing campaign the way Glowforge did, I don't trust them immediately because I'm like, they clearly put more money into their marketing, or I'd bet that they put more money into their marketing than what they do in their actual product. Oh, Sarah says, I think the first thing I bought from you were the 2020 snowflakes. Yeah, man, we paid off that Glowforge with those snowflakes, though. The fuck flakes. Those were so much fun. We bought a commercial license for the pattern and started producing them, and those broke us, man, because we had to go through and hand cut or hand sand down. Like if we had a planer or something, that probably would have been a really good investment. But when the second one caught on fire, I was done. Okay, so there we've got, let me get this back to where you can actually see what we're doing. Have you pick? What do you mean, Earth? Okay, so I think I'd like, the wire is going to be kind of folded over here. And I think I've seen this style of pendant somewhere, but I'm going to make my own today. This is the first wire in the frame. This is not perfectly representative. We could make it perfectly representative, so I'll try my best to do that. But yeah, so this still, I think, technically counts as giving my hand a break, but I'm getting to be nice and creative. Oh, of the snowflakes? Oh, maybe on our Instagram. You'd have to go all the way back to 2020, though. Okay, give me a sec. I gotta go cancel a subscription. Because that's another thing, is I told myself that if I'm going to be live streaming and stuff, it's like I'm going to need to be checking emails. I'm going to need to be We're literally live streaming from work today. So please give me a moment while I check this email. Though this might be something that I have Randy take care of. Because I'd like to get it set back up to where we're dual streaming here to YouTube on the Craft Along with Vaughn, as well as streaming to Kick on the Back to Earth Creations Kick channel. Oh goodness, I'm so bad at typing emails, y'all. Because that's another thing is I'm having to like not be terrified of like, not terrified, but just like braced for impact. That's a good way of putting it. I'm trying to not be braced for impact that it's going to be an irate customer, because honestly, we've had very few of them since we started our business in 2008. But man, the ones that we had really stuck. Like, wow, what an impression they have made on me. That now I am braced for full impact every single time I'm answering emails. I'm like, I don't think this is healthy. So trying to just get through it. Oh, not just get through it. I'm trying to figure it out. Because I've been getting through it and I don't gotta keep pushing like that. Okay, so it's going to have a little bit of a bend. I don't want it to be a sharp angle bend. Yeah, this one will stay nice and rounded. And then I think it'll be on the fourth wire. We'll dip down. And then on the fifth wire, we'll dip down as well. I'd like to maintain this kind of spacing there on the side, as opposed to over here it's a little tight, but, you know, it's a sketch. Email PTSD. And, you know, that sounds dramatic, but it's really like I'm holding on to more than what I need to be, so I'm trying to let go of the rope that's burning my hand. Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is people are going to be buttholes. There's gonna be somebody's gonna be the biggest butthole of the day every day. I need to be more resilient to it. Like I can't stop them from being buttholes, but I can make myself more resilient. Like, if that makes sense. So just mindfully answering my emails. Well, hey, Brittany, how's it going? I used to work from home accounting stuff, and now I have total phone ring PTSD. Okay, I think you get me. I think I'm going to put bead caps on that one, just like how we do here. You're tried today. I'm just getting a vibe. Coming in Spaniman. Sorry, but it's with their, you can see the user history from the, like I can click it. Yep. Sorry, brain's words are hard. So we've got the 5 layers, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you can't see it because it's going to be actually overlapping, so we can draw it where we can see it. It's going to be overlapping just a little on the front of our stone. And then I think I'm going to have these 2 wires, this one and this one. Buffering seems to fixed itself. That's good to hear. I'm going to bring it down the back. And I'm making the line bolder if I could stay on the line by putting a dash line on it to show that it's in the back. And even just getting to do this part, this is actually really fun, and I'm getting to be creative about the wire wrapping without having to take the physical risk of making something with my hands. Like, that sounds ridiculous, but y'all, I've never slowed down enough. Typically, like, very little have I slowed down enough to actually, like, draw out designs and things. Aww. But yeah, this was... I guess I should slow down and plan things out. I need wire in hand to see what it does. Right, and I understand that, and that's how I feel. Rainbow says, I can't draw well, so doing this doesn't work too well for me, unfortunately. Gotcha. Now you can see, I'm gonna show you exactly... I wouldn't call that drawing well. Like, though this is perfectly good enough. This is perfectly adequate. Like, this is another one. Like, what even is that? I don't know, but my brain did at the time, and I just needed to write it down. So this one did come out pretty good. But use a ruler. Like, what are the parts that, what are the parts that are the worst whenever you're making something? Is it a straight line? Is it making circles? Use stencils. Use rulers. Well, I don't always, that's for sure. Use your eraser. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect. It does not need to be perfect. Like, but it's good enough. Well, it's not a peeing race. Okay, so here we are coming around. But in all things, and I think y'all know this, like, practice will make progress. It's okay to be kind of crappy at something. If you're having fun, you will get better. So I think I want to have these 4 wires. They're going to be emerging from here and traveling over the face. So there's 1 and 2. And then maybe 1 and 2. Because they'll just pass through this space between the cab and the bead, if there is space for the wire there. Though I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I may just have it come down instead of doing the 2 pieces that come across the front. Something I should have done, and actually that I'm going to do. Boom. Where is it? Here it is. I'm going to use this pen to set the lines that I've drawn that I am certain about. That way I can just erase. I'm not going to erase all of it. But this way I feel like I'll be able to erase maybe where I need to. And it won't disrupt the whole oopsie, piece. My lines are going off, but I'll know what I mean. Planting seeds in your wire wrap garden. Ooh, I love that. I'm loving it too, Amber. Amber says I love the idea to draw it out first. Alright, so now I can erase this stuff. Oh, don't that just crisp it right up? Normally, I would have let not having a kneading eraser stop me from doing any of this because I'd be all wrapped up in, well, I don't want to waste my, this eraser when I could be using a kneaded eraser. That'd be a better tool for this. And it's like, no, use the stupid eraser. Like, just do the thing. So these could come down and we could actually splay. Yes. Because I love that kind of motion. You don't have to be perfect. It's fine. So yeah, and now the wires that are on the front are pen and the pencil is the back. And that way I'm not having to do these stinking dash mark lines. And then understanding that the core lines are pencil, so they're on the back, I am going to do this part in pen, just so it stands out. So I think I'm just going to be going between where it's around all four and then just two, and then around all four and then just two. Oh yeah, it's translucent. I think I'm going to hate that. Ah, crap. Well, that's why we'll just have to groove it. Ah. Now, of course, I've just done it with the pen. We could totally do it this way if this were, let's say, this stone. You're not going to see the back at all. And we would just change the sizing and shaping accordingly. So I'm not going to remove that, but I am going to do a translucent variation. Okay, so we have, start with something that the shape is going to be, the stone. Just trace that first. So now I don't have to just make a line. I've got a shape. And so we'll have, there's the one layer coming up and over, and we've got that line scooping through. Probably one of the best ways that I can think to practice this is to lay something on the table, like a jewelry piece that you've made, because you understand the components. So here we're going to draw a link, and we've got one right here for reference. And so we'll start by drawing the bead. Doesn't have to be the same or perfect size. This is very representative. For bead caps, I just do a little low triangle. You don't have to do any more details past there. And then I'm going to do the little 3mm bead. And usually if it's a bead, I'll repeat the edge in some way so it's a little bolder. And then if it's a wire, I'll just do a single. And that gives me the visual distinction between, and that would just be a loop. And if I were doing a wrapped loop, I extend it out and then I go 1, 2, 3. So you've got those little hash marks to denote to yourself. And so you could use references like books that have, let me grab. This was the very first book on jewelry making that Randy got me. This was, I think he was still working at Fred's. Let's see, when was this published? 1998 and 2025. So by Beadwork Magazine. But this, I loved the way that it just lays flat. But there's so many different pictures of styles and types, but it had these diagrams like this here. And so the way that beads are depicted in books and magazines and on websites for like sizing charts was really critically helpful to me. Like here, you can see how somebody else already broke it down. And it doesn't have to be perfect, like it doesn't have to sparkle its own self, it's just got to be representative. Reminds me of the old calendars I'd get there full of crochet a day patterns. Oh, that'd be cool. But yeah, this was probably one of the best. They even give you your own little graphs for doing your own brick stitches and stuff. But just the way that they drew out and depicted the seed beads, this is how I learned. So this is how I'm teaching to draw that out. I loved the macrame section. Like this one book, y'all. All you needed was some macrame string, some size 8 seed beads, and some wire. And you could go. Because I think they have wire wrapping in here. Yeah. So that's how I found out about jigs, like the thingamajig, like, and there's so much, yeah, first wire wrapping lesson, boom. But there is so much that I mean, and I'm part of the problem, but there's so much fluff that you have to cut through, being YouTube, like watching tutorials and stuff. Like everybody's videos got like an ad in it for Patreon, or they're like me and can't get to a point to save their life, but you clicked on my face, so you're here for the chit chat and the gab. But having a reference tool like this is so valuable, so valuable. And it doesn't even have to be this book, just having a book about it. Because what's more is when you have a friend or a family member over and you're like, oh, I want to show you this thing. It is so much easier to just go, it's in this book, you grab it off the shelf, boom, it's right there, as opposed to, let me see if I can find the TikTok. Like, but I don't know. That's just me though. But I get super distracted every single time I'm on my phone. Okay. 1, 2, 3. On the 4th wire, we'll have it come down to a point, and then on the 5th wire, which we may texture hammer. Oh, that'd be freaking pretty. To demonstrate that it's texture hammered, I'm doing a 2nd wire next to it, and then I'm just going to shade it in. I'm going to give it like little split splat spots. And they don't have to be accurate to reality of how your hammering's actually going to be, but it is an opportunity that you could, if you wanted to test out, like, just test it out on paper if you think you like it hammered. because the way that we're going to be connecting this is this innermost wire here. Let me clear the board. Hey Sha, how's it going? I can remember when there were no books or only one or two for jewelry making. Now there are so many, right? And you don't need every single one, but they are fun to check out at the library if you can get your library to carry them. So, and also the number of the pattern that I'm doing on here, it doesn't have to be perfectly to scale, but it's going to be 5 on each side. The parts that are most important to me are where the symmetry stems from, where the center line is. So this one we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll go 1 around 2 around 2, 2 around 3, 2 around 4, 2 around 5, and then back down. And I'll be real careful on the way up, but then I just do representative strokes on the way down. And then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to repeat that. Just getting the shape of the weave. If I wanted to get every single stitch laid out, I would have drawn this larger. And then we really could plan out if you wanted to plan every single stitch. So I may end up with 4 or 5 of the repetition of the pattern, but it's letting me know that I'm leaving this part empty. And we're starting the coiling here on this inner line. So for a translucent stone, 2 of these wires are going to get bent, just like in the other one. And they won't be crossing over each other as they are here in the picture. So we'll want to make sure to capture that. Because the wire is going to lay very two-dimensionally, like it's following the pencil line. So this wire would come over that wire and come down, and this one would come over and come down. But because it's, pencil doesn't translate to 3D super well, like my artistic skills are not there yet, but it'll come parallel too. So at no point are they going to be crossing over. And if you're familiar with wire wrapping, you're familiar with that pattern, that it's folding over like the way that 2 fingers would fold over something. We're about to do this, so I'll be able to demonstrate it. But it's going to be a nice soft fold. Well, I guess here's 2 different ways of doing it. So that's where they're vining together, and that's where one's tracing the outline. What should we call those? There's got to be a good term for this that I don't know. Hey, Tion. Says, good afternoon, Vaughn. Glad you are feeling better. Winding down my year. One last event left. Been busting butt to get my inventory back up for it. Great problem to have, though. That is a great problem to have. Well, congratulations on making it to your last event of the year. How much time do you have until then? And I'm going to immediately bring this around into where it's tracing just the inner back edge of the stone. So that the second wire is just going to be sitting there on the edge, and then it'll come down and come down. This will come around and it'll come down, but it's just understanding that this innermost is going to need to be the centermost there. So just mapping that out first for me tends to help. And I'm going to go over this line with my pen so that when I've looked away, I'll still remember what it means. And part of why drawing the circle tracing the cabochon is very handy, because I don't think I want it to go over. I want it to be beside. I like this one better, but that's just me. You do you the way you want yours. Mm-hmm. Fawn over. That's wild. So I'm going to start with this one. We're going to come down and over. And then we'll come over here to this one. It comes around and over. And so now from here on, this is where the branching out will happen, but it'll be less so on this one so than what it is on here, because over here that branch out is really traveling. And that would give us where this one would tie on this side, this one would tie on the other side. So this one's tying down here, this one would need to tie down over here, and that'll be the point of symmetry that helps these curves be the same, is their relation to this point on each side. And that should hold the stone in. Though now that I'm looking at this, it's not going to hold the stone in. These ones need to be going much higher. So we could repeat this motif. Which the way to do that would be, I'm going to draw a small, very pale circle. You could totally use a stencil for this. And then so this wire then just follows. It's like you're drawing the jig pattern on. Is giving it, oh, it looks like it's a very nice curve. Maybe a butt. Oh, that'd be cool if it had a butt. Yeah, we could bring that wire over here and it would ground there. And what I mean by ground is it would be bound off. So we don't actually need to draw the loops. Well, I've decided I don't like that. So I'm just going to have it be a nice sharp fold up. As sharp as we can get, which in this kind of close quarters I don't think will be very much, but so we can just tweak it. We're still in the design stage. So we would just be taking our bent nose pliers and bending up, and that way it comes to there. And we'd just take our bent nose pliers and bend up. I like that. Whereas down here, it would come down. I worry that that's not going to be very strongly bound though. But I guess we could use some of the weaving wire to attach. This might be the better way. Because then in between each of these, there would be we'd just do like 5 stitches, like 5 little coils before coming back into that center edge on the back side of the piece. Now we wouldn't need to do that down on the bottom, which is nice because that'll really leave that hammered texture nice and open. I'm not beating myself up about not being more productive right now. Like, I just experienced a little bit of guilt about that it's like I'm taking too long. And it's like, let it cook. Okay. Yeah, so we'll have this. This one will come down here. These will bind off together to give a nice density. Or it'd be better if they were split apart. Ew, I don't know. Because we could hide some spirals on the back, but that'll get bulky pretty quick. All right, this is the point where now I'm overthinking it and I am going to get to work because it's like, I don't know, and I don't have to have the whole piece figured out for us to try to get there. Yay, let's get in our pirate ships and go make some jewelry. What noise do pirates make? It's not yay. Why do I think that? Your inner voice says you're not being productive. Mine says go have a cookie. Ooh, a cookie. Oh, and I have some coffee too. What time is it? Oh, it's 4:32. That's perfect coffee and cookie time. You want to go make a cup of coffee with me? Boom. Let's make a cup of coffee. Because Randy got me these sugar-free Nilla wafers. I gotta pick my mug. I want to show y'all my new mug that we got. Oh, it's not in here. It must be in the cabinet. Then I'll be drinking out of this one. Just my stump mug. My kitchen's all dirty because we haven't unloaded the dishwasher yet today. So, stay there. Oh, there's the food scale. I was like, where's my food scale? We're gonna have some cookies and a coffee. Do. Nope, it's on grams. Milliliters. Do. Oh, a little more blood. A little more. I was trying to get it to 50 milliliters. It's at 49. It's fine. Stale coffee from this morning. Oh, Rainy brewed it for me though. That was so nice. Okay. Let's go put this in the microwave. And find the cookies. Are you having fun yet? I am. I'm having a blast. Thank you for hanging out with me. Okay, I'm gonna microwave it for a minute 30. I'm gonna put y'all back on the tripod because my hand hurts. But that was my kitchen a little bit. It's a nightmare. I love it though. It's my kitchen. It's my nightmare. All right, we're gonna flip this around. We're gonna go like this. All I hear is criticize. I know, baby. All I do is bitch. I love you, though. I'll be back with those cookies that you got for me.
From misery to happiness today.
Not to brag, but I'm on my way here. From misery to happiness today. I'm sorry, Amber. I don't mean to tempt you with the coffee. I'll keep it to my own self. I do as well. I love these wafers, and these ones are sugar-free, or no sugar added, or whatever. I still stay in my limit, but normally I don't like sugar-free stuff. Like, there's a couple of things that I'm like, yeah, I love it, but a lot of the times I can just taste it. It tastes off. I can't show you guys my personal cab collection. It's upstairs in my bedroom. Ooh. Oh, hello, hot coffee. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to not taunt Amber with. Yeah, it's 5:40. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not supposed to have coffee after 5 p.m. just for like trying to hope I sleep well. Um Oh, that's good. I'm sorry, I completely just lost my train of thought. All right. Are we going to be making this out of 18 or 16 gauge? I'm going to use 16. I'm going to do the base color is going to be antique copper because that's what most of the scrap wire we ended up using was the color of. Goodness gracious. I didn't realize my phone sound was on. Did y'all hear that? I'm so sorry. But it was a really good news. So, I mean, oh, yes. Rainbow Obsidian says, okay, Vaughn. Okay, Rainbow. You have inspired me today with the drawing. I'm going to commit to doing some wire wrapping doodles this next week or so and see how it goes, but won't be wire wrapping just yet. I think that's a fantastic idea, Rainbow. And then I think I'm going to do the wrapping. Should we do silver or should we do vintage bronze? Because there's not a whole lot else silver on this piece. I think I'm going to do vintage bronze. If I were doing a tutorial right now, which I know I'm doing a live stream, but this is if you haven't noticed, this is not a tutorial. You're getting to be in my brain with me while I'm going. Right on, because the silver is easier to see, but I think the vintage bronze is going to give us a fantastic result. I did one recently. We already tagged it and put it in the inventory. With a 26 gauge wire. So I think I'm going to use the 28 gauge today. Now, also one of the fantastic things about drawing out your pattern first is you can take some scrap wire and you can see exactly how much wire you're going to need to, at the very least, do the front face of the stone, like of the cab. So I know that I'm going to need at least for this outer mark about 4 inches. So I'm going to give myself 6 inches. I know I was going to do it with that stone, but I think we might just have to see how it looks with the back on there, because we may love it. And if we hate it, we'll know before and we can swap a different stone out. No, Alfredo. So, how long did we say? 6 inches? Amazing Amy says, speaking of drawing, I just scored some graph ruled composition books at the Wall of Mart and for $1. Oh, nice. Very nice. Graph ruled is the best. Okay. So I'm going to give myself 10 inches just to have to work with. So we're going to cut 5 sections of 10 inches. And the reason why I've given myself so much excess is because now I should have close to a 2-inch cutoff on each end whenever I've done the design that we're doing today. And that's going to be far more usable scrap than if I only cut myself off like 6 or 7 inches. Sorry, I'm unwinding a big old section of this. I guess while we get this going. There we go. Yeah, sometimes I still see Millie in the background. I know that blanket has a cat shooting lasers out of its eyes on it, but it just from the corner of my eye, my mind auto-filled that to be little Millie dog. So I love that she still lives in the corner of my eye, just out of focus, probably chewing on something. So we're gonna do 5 of these 10-inch long segments. 3. Oh, really, Rainbow? It's a blessing to get to see her again, even out of the corner of my eye, you know? But just kind of easing it off of the spool. I don't know if there's a better way. This is just what I do. 2, 3. There's 4. And I'm actually pinning it with my arm, because you want to watch out. You don't want that hitting your face. And 5. Yeah. Put this back in the drawer where it goes. Ooh, or wait. I don't know how much we'll need for the little bar that it's going to be hanging on. So I'm going to wait to do that probably until last. So instead of cutting the wire now, wildly guessing, oh heck, I'm going to need it though to put the other wires on. Well, I was thinking that instead of cutting it and wildly guessing, I could wait until I have the other pieces put together, and then we could measure from there. I think I still can. I think that'll work. I'm trying to stagger the steps out in my mind. Cheers, everybody. Welcome to the craft room tea party. This is 16 gauge, and this is American wire gauge. I'm sorry, but I just don't know what it is in millimeters. Oh my goodness gracious. That's okay. I'm addicted to coffee. This is good. Oh yes. I can't think. I'm gonna sit down. There we go. It got caught on something.
You know what kind of unreasonable faith I have in myself? That I can just work at my desk and then click a button and walk away and just trust my past self with no evidence that I should. I will just trust that I didn't put anything in a way that's going to ruin everything. Because I just click the button and walk away. Yesterday or the day before, I did that, and I pushed my little tool thingy here. I had pushed it too far back, and it went under the lip here, and it dented the lip of the thing. And I'm like, that could have been such a disaster. It wasn't, thank goodness, so far this time. But yes, coffee. Oops, yeah. And so, good on me for believing in myself, though, I guess. Practice it so I can use it when I need it. All right. So we got those 5 pieces. Let's get the camera turned back around. Oopsie. So I have my little steel block. I'm using this hammer specifically for the little ball peen head because I want to try adding some texture to this, but I'm also going to be using this is that a chasing hammer? I don't know, just the metal side head of a 13-ounce jewelry hammer. Okay, cookie ASMR time. Can I have a coffee break? I don't want to be a workaholic. Better slow down just in case. Sloth mode activate. This is absolutely freaking decadent. You hear that crunch though? My goodness. This is like the most magical confection to me. These little wafers, that texture, that's wild. I can't make anything like this at home. Like, okay. Sip of coffee and then we'll get to work. Or rather, sip of coffee and then we'll go play. And thank goodness I drew down what it is we're doing because I forgot. I was busy having a tea break. So only 2 of these are going to need a bend in them, but all of them are going to need at least a little work hardened. My favorite tools for that are my bent nose pliers that I'm just going to hold kind of in line because I don't want to put any bends in my wire. And then I just take my nylon gel pliers, 3 little sweeps. So I don't know if you can tell. This will be a good example. This is all of them before. I've done this one so far. Because you can't quite tell as much whenever it's just one by itself. Maybe, I don't know. It looks pretty. I did that one 4 times. I don't want to, I keep track because I don't want to do it too many. But also do what you need to do. And I'm just straightening out with my fingers. Because I'm trying to remove the curve from where it was on the spool. The turtle tank isn't too loud in the background, is it, y'all? I just realized normally I close those doors. Rainbow says it does make a difference, and I like using the nylon pliers too. Right on. Can't hear the turtle tank. Excellent. Yeah, when I'm recording, I have to shut the pocket doors, which I love those doors. They're just so cool. They're the draftiest things, and I hurt myself on them just about every time I use them because there's no like doorknob to pull, so I'm like grabbing the wood. But absolutely love them. But yeah, I'll close the French doors to try to muffle the turtle tank sound. But yeah, see how much that helped. So prepping your wires goes a super duper long way. Let's take a break for some coffee. I'm torturing myself. Well, if this is torturing myself, call me a masochist, because, oh no, not more coffee. No, don't make me do it. No. No, not another bite of cookie. No, don't make me do it. I'll never tell you where they are. You'll have to torture me forever. Yep, whatever helps us keep going. But just reminding myself, I'm here to be having a good time. I'm not at work trying to bust out, maximum production. Oh no! Oh, Amber, go have dinner. I'll be here till 6, so we're only for an hour longer anyhow. I demand treats! I mean, we're grown-ups. We can have dinner and treats if we're lucky. Okay. So, I may end up needing more of a bend, but that's certainly enough of a bend to start. And now I want to compare my stone, or cabochon. I can keep you with me. It's just leftovers. I have an abscessed tooth. Oh no, so I'm really not forward to chewing what I have for dinner. Oh man, is it a kind of food that like would blender well? Like if you like usually anything with mashed potatoes, I'll just macerate it as much as I can, and it just becomes some variation of shepherd pie. We can have treats for dinner. Blend up a roast beef dinner. I mean, that's basically just a thick autumn stew, like, like, right? Like serve it in a bowl, a bread bowl, and I would be in heaven. So we could use, and I'm totally going to use this as this was not by design, but it's a crazy random happenstance. You can just use a bottle cap. For most of the cabs that we send out in our kits, you can just use a bottle cap or the neck of a bottle as the mandrel to shape around it. Pro tip. So I'm just going to use the neck of this one. I'm going to do all 3 wires at once, and I'm just going to bring them up. Thank you, Rainbow. Yeah, I kind of really want to bake bread now. I'm going full Hobbit mode. I am ready. But now we have those 3, and they don't quite stack very well inside of each other. So sometimes if you have a ring mandrel, oops, it can help to do one, because we want it to be a little smaller than our cab actually, I bet, because this frame is going to sit on top. So I'm not bringing it full circle around, I'm making it like a teardrop. One at the size 15. I'm going to aim for one at the size 13 and one at the size 11. That could be way more than what I need. Ooh, what day is it? Because I could ask Randy to get barbecue baked potatoes. I mean, if he wants. And if he could pick up an extra pound of that smoked turkey so that we could eat it in Lunchables. Because we might need to go to Sam's Club tomorrow. All I do is eat food and spend money. Somebody send help. Once? Yes. Oh, do you not have pants on? Can? No. Are they closed on Monday? Because I was going to say, I don't think you need, like, you can go in sweatpants. Like,
dark chocolate pistachio brittle. Oh my goodness gracious. Friggin' Mondays. Oh, bless their work-life balance, but also curse it. Ah! I love that this is the biggest problem of my day so far. I'll take that wherever I can get it. Oh, I really like that spacing too. The spacing was just for fun. Well, hey, Double Chevron. I am making a necklace. It's going to make sense, I promise. But, and then there's some beads. It's going to be so good. Just rolled a 1 in sales. I'm just going to pack up and go. Ooh, coffee. Yep, and this is where the drawing comes in as handy as well. Exactly. Oh, we get to hit this with a hammer. Hammer time. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Hammer time. Do, 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 do. All right, so I'm being silly, but I take being silly very seriously. We want to maintain this right angle here. And so we're gonna have some distortion and stuff. Ah, well, thank you, Double. This is very loud. I'm sorry. Watch your ears. Gosh, that's just terrible. Oh, that's my coffee mug on the plate making that horrible noise. Behold, a slightly different horrible noise. Okay. So you can see that actually gave us some really nice texture, and it might not be obvious. So let me put it here next to one that has not been hammered. My ears are ringing. Do do do. Do 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 do. Isn't that neat? And so we could do it a little bit more. I'm going to do just a smidge to see if we can get a bit of spread there on the tip. But if we hammer too much, it starts to look flatter. But I think that's good. So we didn't even need our ball peen hammer. And why can't we have nice things? Because I'm a gremlin. Whee! Or, something. We have nice things. They're just all crapped up because I used them wrong. And also just the ravages of time, to be fair. I'm not responsible for chaos or the ravages of time. I'm just using this to try to square up. Doesn't have to be perfect. So now we can set these things off to the side. And we can bring our coffee back. Hello, coffee. I missed you. And we're going to use the 28 gauge wire. And I'm going to, you can see I'm holding this end. I'm going to hold this end full arm span once and twice. So that should be a little over 10 feet of wire. And this is the 28 gauge. You could also use a 26 or a 24 in this instance. And we're starting. Rainbow says, I find it difficult to come back to a wire wrap at another time. I need to get a project done all in the same sitting. I empathize really deeply with that. And I think that'll, at least for me, that can get in my way of even starting. Because I'll be like, well, if I can't finish it today, then I'm not going to begin it. And it's like, the thing is most things take way more than a day. Way more than a day. Ooh! Oh, goodness. No, Michelle, what happened? Just so now I have to restring a bracelet that just strung up. Thank goodness it's a bracelet and not a necklace. Oh, no. So I had my center point and I pulled a couple inches off to the side. I'm going to do our 5 wraps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how that looks. And I've brought it around so it's here at the bottom. We're going to add in the next size up. Getting those wires so that they sit just one right snug inside of the other. But I want to pull the wire that's traveling towards the back. I want to hook it around and just pull on through like that. Oh no, gotcha. Okay, okay. You got this, Michelle. It was so much fun stringing it the first time. You want to do it again, hopefully. I think it's dangerous for me to zoom in, so I'm just going to physically bring the camera closer. And I have a tendency to work right here. Let me get good and comfy, because we're settling in for a minute. And then I'm also going to give us a little bit of a gap this way. And we're going 1. Well, that is barely hanging on. I just need a break first. I understand that. So there's 1 and 2. Around 2. And I'm just going to rotate. And whenever I change sides, I'm making sure that this left wire is going all the way off to the left, and then this wire, I just get them positioned that way. Now I know where the wire is coming from, and I'm less likely perhaps to get tangled in something in my work surface or around other wires, because I've controlled where all of the chaos of that wire is at least being chaotic off to the right of me. So there's that. And now we're going to add in the third one. That goes on that edge. And again, we'll want to make sure to kind of open them just a little. It gives us a clear path. And now we're going to go 1 and 2. I need to make a thing. Well, actually, this is going to be great. I don't feel the need to make a spacer bead on a pendant like this whenever it's curved, because I can always just curve it in a little bit more. But I may regret those words, so we'll see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add... That's a really big gap. So we're going to take this and we're going to open it much wider. And I think to do that, I'm going to use this ring clamp. Oops. Insert. And I'm going to press. I want to try to keep this centered. There's got to be an easier way to do this. But I just want to press with my thumbnail on either side up, because I just want that little dimple. Now with this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and open it just using the curves of my thumbs. I think I might like that way better. But I don't know. You know what would be perfect? I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my bracelet pliers. And this is going to give us that curve that we'll be able to match on both sides. If you're able to see that. Squeezing on that side. So even though it doesn't look perfectly symmetrical, probably because there's a little bit more spread here than there is on this side. I'm going to hit it with a hammer. Give me a sec. Sometimes you just got to hit it with the hammer again. So don't feel like you have to get... I can have the tendency to feel like I have to get it all right on the first wave of hammering. And it's like, no, we can tweak. We can fine tune. Okay. Thank you, Rainbow. Perfectionism is real. But one of the greatest things to practice, I think, is to just let it be. Do your best, but let it be. Here we are. We're going to use this again on this one. I forgot how much I loved those pliers. They're so good for this. And so now we can bring this up this way. And there's going to be one. Now I know that this is all weird, crazy out the side. That's okay. We just got to get it locked down first. So there's 1, 2 around all of those. And then I'm going to insert this one. I've kind of decided this is going to be the front of the piece, and that's why my hammering is facing this way. Now, with the 28 gauge like this, sometimes I'll run into, I'll weave back over my work more readily with a thinner weaving wire than if I'm using a 26 gauge as opposed to a 28. Bye, Tionsta. Okay, looking for the nylon jaw. Whoop. Oh, that looks so cool. I love that. That is so neat. And I've decided to make a change to the design, and I'll explain that to you whenever we get there. Oh, you do such a good job of that, Michelle. So there we have 3 around 2. Or 2 around 3 rather, and now 2 around 2. And now we're going to do 5 around 1. Oh, well, shucks. Well, still, you picked up the tools and did the practice. That's all on you. And you do so good with that. Okay, so it does seem like using spacers would have been beneficial, but it's not the end of the world. This 28 gauge is malleable enough that we can really squish it, squanch it down. So now that's, I'm not gonna bend this any farther just yet. We can always come back to it. But I'm going to flip this, and we are going to tackle it from the other side. So again, getting that left wire all the way off to the left, and the right wire all the way off to the right. And we did, where did we leave off? 2 wraps around 2 wires. So this one actually needs to be going around. So there's one. Let's reinforce that nice spread so that we have a clear path right here. There's 1, 2 around all 3, bringing it up and then bending. And whenever I bend, I'm providing resistance on the back of my finger, like the thread tension when crocheting. And I also support with my finger from the back. Just here, like that. In this, since it doesn't quite reach well over here, I'd rather go with a more compact, dense weave. So I'm going to come back down with 1 and 2. Wraps around the 2 core wires, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's going to be where that point is centered up over. And it probably doesn't look like much right now, but you got to trust the process. I'm going to take a little bit of a hand break. And then I think I may put that into my ring clamp. I think I'm going to put it into my ring clamp to give my hands some relief. But first, we're going to have a stretch break with some coffee. So what do y'all think so far? Can you see it coming together, or are you still like, These get stale so quick. I see where I messed up now. My bracelet, looking at it again, I didn't do a center focal point. Oh my goodness. Well, good thing you caught it. That's so tasty. Okay. We're stretching, doing some hand circles and wrist circles. I don't know if you can hear that snapping, that crackling, that popping. Getting a nice stretch between my shoulder blades there. Anyway, because I don't want to have to stop working. I want to be able to fit as many stretches in on top of each other. And I know I should slow down and just do one at a time. But it just gets me started. Getting some life and blood motion through our spine. This is one I always need to work on. I spend so much time just hunched over that like this is probably the tightest area with my least range of motion. I gotta remind myself the most important part about stretching is breathing. You have to breathe, apparently. All right. And when I think I'm ready, I'm gonna make myself do this for a bit.
Because otherwise, I know I'm rushing myself through it. So every time I'm like, okay, I'm done, it's like, do a little more. And as soon as I'll know when I'm ready. You gotta breathe, dang it. Oh, Michelle says it's always good company in the chat and just hanging out with. Oh, y'all are amazing. Well, y'all are too, truly. Oof. All right, back to wire wrapping.
That is really nice.
I'm glad that I'm making myself stop and do that.
I hope it's not too disruptive to the whole like live stream experience for y'all, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Okay. So here we are. I'm actually going to straighten these ones out a little bit more too. And now we're going to start weaving this back up. So we've got 1 and 2 around 2, and then we're doing the 2 around 3. And then now we need to make sure that the position right here is good. We're going to bring this wire down just a little, just pressing my thumb just to give it that little bit of opening. There's 1, 2, adding in that 5th one, 1 and 2. Before adding any sort of tension, I'm making sure that the core wires are stacked. In fact, that would be a great way before pulling and applying tension, is to just hold that there in the plier jaws. And then we can give it a little bit of a squishy smush. And now we're going to start building that back down. Well, it's... Kalita says it's a great reminder, Vaughn, don't be hunched over, crafters. It's okay to be whatever position you're most comfortable in. I think the really important part isn't about, like, if I sat here with a perfectly stiff back, like, out of nowhere from day one trying to improve my posture, I'd be in so much pain from trying to hold it all day. So be in whatever posture you're in. Just give yourself the opportunity to experience different postures. And like so like if there's a way that you can sneak in having a standing desk to any capacity, like if you think that that would work for you, I'd recommend that. It just because it's been so game changing for me. But otherwise, just, I know it sounds generic, but it's the actual doing of it that's, you know, it's such a simple thing, but it's such a powerful thing when you actually do it, is setting a timer and, you know, maybe every 30 minutes or every hour, getting up and making yourself take the full 5-minute break. And I'm guilty of not doing that, but I figure if I get up and do 30 seconds once an hour, that is better than nothing. And it breaks the seal and the floodgates open. And then before we know it, you know, every 30 minutes we're getting up and doing 5 minutes. You know, that's suddenly way more than nothing. So just baby stepping our way there. Which it sounds silly, but, you know, all that sitting adds up. And a whole lot of the repetitive tasks adds up. Two, 3. Oh, Amanda, I'm so glad to get to keep y'all company. And 5. No, the center's going to be all wibbly wobbly. That's okay. We'll get it figured out. But we're going to do the squishy smush on this side. yeah, that'll get stabilized as we build up and around. I didn't mean for there to be so much like extra space right there. Like that's really loose. Maybe it'll be okay. We'll see. And so now I'm just going to use my fingers to bring these up to parallel. Ah, right on, Michelle. And so just shaping around. 6-hour plumbing visit, stuff all fixed now. No more leak and new sink. Nice. Oh, that is nice. Congratulations. Because it's a little far back in the pattern for me to kind of be able to do anything about it. But I wonder if I can take a T-pin I don't have a T-pin, but I have a safety pin. I hope I live to regret this. Actually, I hope for no regrets, but I understand. So I'm actually just putting, I was going to try to tighten this down by adding tension to the back side of the wire. And that did technically tighten that down. And so what we can do is when we're attaching later, I may do that to the other side as well, and we may be able to feed the 28 gauge through there. Well, y'all, I'm always saying that I gotta get good at listening to my body whisper so I don't have to hear it scream. I just hit my threshold of how much wire wrapping I can do today, so I'm going to go ahead and clock out. I'm going to spend the last 36 minutes of my workday, probably doesn't need vacuumed. I'll go and tidy up my workstation in preparation for later this week. We are going to be sculpting a dragon head. So it's going to be one of our mushy skull styles, the mushroom skulls. But I think it's going to be awesome. And oh, well, thank you. Good for you, Vaughn. Proud of you, buddy. Well, thank you. I've got to take all y'all's good advice, and I've got to start doing something, because otherwise I'm just going to keep repeating this cycle, and I gotta not do that, like, for certain. But I don't have to run off yet. I can chit chat and tell you guys more about it. I know I said I'm gonna set the phone down, but just let me show you from like over here. My view is I gotta fix the fringe on that, but like it waits for us. So that is a little sneaky peeky of what's up in our next live stream, which hopefully we'll have set up to where it's here on YouTube as well as on Kick. I'm going to be honest, it's likely not going to be tomorrow. Because tomorrow is our shipping day. So just to let you guys know, shameless self-promotion, we're having a 30% off end of season, like kind of clearance sale on our tie-dyes. So you can use coupon code tie-dye30 to get 30% off any of the tie-dye on our website. And that's backtoearthcreations.com. So that's the sponsored ad at the end of our live stream. So I really enjoyed getting to hang out with you guys in today's live stream. We got, honestly, quite a bit done. We got a bunch of links and some wire wrapping. Like, progress is progress, and I'll take it. So, yeah, Melisandre. Another head to work with. Yup.
Happy Monday. I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your week and stretching. And so maybe it'll be on Wednesday when we see y'all next, but we'll see how it goes. So until then, happy crafting. Mwah. Bye.